Well, now, folks, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Graham Bobermien. Graham is a descendant from the early pioneers as well, the Bobermien family. And Graham, it was your great-grandfather who came out from Germany to settle in Australia. What year was that, Graham?
Well, they called me 1860.
1864? Yep.
I think they'd landed at the mouth of the Brisbane River.
Yeah, yep.
And some of the passengers, they was left off at Bethania. They had to supply the vegetables for Brisbane.
For the city, for the fledgling city of Brisbane, yeah. Yep.
When they had a trainload, they'd send it there.
So back in, we're talking 1860s now, when you said trainload, did the train come to as far as Bethania in those days? Did it, or was it all by dray or horse and cart in those days?
Well, must have went from Beenleigh to Brisbane because no outlet.
So they got it to Beenleigh. The train line was already from Beenleigh to Brisbane in those early days. Yeah. So that was your great-grandfather. And where did they settle in?
The boat landed there, then as far as I knew, some of them had to move out to Bethania and start with their chippos growing vegetables.
Yeah.
And that went from Bethania to Brisbane. And my great-grandfather, Dad reckons he was a cabinet maker.
Yeah, hence you've got all those wood skills from him then. Keep going, sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted.
I asked Dad, how did he get up the Logan River? He said he must have walked.
From Bethania?
Yeah. And he followed that river till he found red cedar log.
Yeah. Because he was, now this is your grandfather now we're talking about.
No, great-grandfather.
Still great-grandfather, sorry, yep.
And he brought the timber logs up there, and then next step was buying a house.
Buying a house, yeah. Or they'd have built one, wouldn't they, in those days?
Well, that's what they did. They had to bought the land and they had to set up a pit saw. That's a fair-sized hole in the ground with two skids on top, and they'd roll their log on that, and one man would stand on top of the log and one
underneath, yeah.
And it was an up and down job.
To cut the slabs off.
Yeah, cut the slabs, and they even cut weatherboards.
Yeah.
And the weatherboards, you got to cut them, say, 7 inches wide and about 1.5 inches thick. So when you split them, you get 2 pieces.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Yep.
And one board.
Yeah.
And
so they settled then at Logan Village. I know this is still your grandfather's time we're talking about. No, they settled at Logan Village.
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, yeah.
He
and I say they. Is he married at this stage? Your great-grand? Yeah. So yep.
Then he decided he got some of his children working over there on the Stockley place, and he went to Mullaney, a little place up there called Witter, and it had red cedar.
And cedar too.
Hoop pine and white beech too, and so they settled the pit saw business up there. Then the Stockley home was on the go getting weatherboards too, so I cut them up at Witter.
So I go back and say now, that's still we're still in the late 1800s?
Yeah.
And did they ever talk about how they got from Logan Village to Witter in those days? It was all horse and cart and...
It mainly was horse and wagon. And got property up there to get the logs out and all that. And
they milled them at Witta at Mullaney, yeah.
And put them on the train to Bethania.
Yeah, so again, there was the train was already established in those days from the north coast back to Brisbane, out to Bethania, or out to Beenleigh probably in those days.
The thing they thought of is a train to, how are we going to get the timber to there?
Yeah.
Well, it's like in Wright's-Inver Desert when they started up. They can't start work till we get a train. Same.
Otherwise they couldn't get product.
That's right.
So it changed a bit though then, like the timber, that, now if we move forward to your grandfather, shall we say, the timber industry changed a little. Well, the timber became out around Logan Village, and on your home place became farming, mixed farming, all that sort of stuff, didn't it now? Yeah.
And all along the Logan River there was huge gum trees.
Yep.
Huge gum trees, and where they used the bullock team to sort of roll them up the bank and onto their pitsville area, and away they go.
But that gave way to, as I say, mixed farming became their mode of what'll I say, existence, if I can use that terminology.
Well, it was all along the Logan River right through to the border. It was farmland, and people gradually got to land on it. And I know our great-grandpappy bought 74 acres on the homeland.
Yeah.
74.
And that's on the river.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the river. And along that river there was, like I say, red cedar and silky oak and black bean and all that.
All the good timber to work with, like this table. Yeah.
All mainly went into the house building.
Yeah. Yep.
Because when I started preparing things over there, you wouldn't mind, I had to build the old wooden toilet out somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Toilet out.
Hope you built it fairly close to the house.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. It's shine.
I'm intrigued. So the mixed farming was all about dairying and pigs. Like it was all cream in those. Like I probably missed out. We're talking about your great grandfather, but your grandfather's established the farming, more or less, didn't he?
Of course, he started a family there.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he had to keep work up to him.
Because there's a fair few of you, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he married a flesher.
Yep.
From Logan Reserve.
Yeah. Yep.
And they bought acres there, and they worked a farm, milking cows and all that. And they had a big corn patch going down to the river.
I think I know where this story is leading. Keep going now. Yep.
She found out that her chooks were disappearing.
About what year is this, Graham?
Going back to early 1940s.
1940s or thereabouts. Yeah, keep going. So the chooks are disappearing on the river in the cane.
There was a farm the other side on the river, and it had a sandbank. And this lady, she knew how to jump mullet in a boat.
A lot of people don't know that story about jumping mullet in a boat. I keep interrupting, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and she was rowing on the other side where the sand was sticking out, and there was a log line there, which she thought, and it nearly tipped the boat over.
I mean, logs don't move, generally speaking. Keep going.
And she went and told the family up home when she got home, something in the river, it nearly tipped my boat over. and they heard about the crocodile story, and so they set up a tribe of gunmen from Logan village right through to Waterford, and sometimes they'd shoot at it, but if it's too far in water, bullets do no good.
Correct, yeah.
So someone shot it. They say this fella and that fella, but don't know who. And they found this crocodile stuck in some willow trees up where the old school is in Logan village. So they decided, put a rope around it and we'll pull it inside instead. Pull it up the bank. Then they decided to cut it open. They found chooks in it.
Is that chooks for dinner?
Chooks for dinner and turtles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this crocodile was living on.
Mm.
And rolled the hide up and took it up and put it under the school. Because I can prove that, because I got into trouble at McLean School. So Dad said, I'll fix a teacher. I'll send you to Logan Village School.
Mm.
We went down to Logan Village School, and under that school was the hide of this crocodile all rolled up.
Yeah.
But the scales on it were all fallen off.
Mm.
And so whoever decided to get rid of it, they didn't. Never saw no more.
Yeah. No, there's a lot written about the Logan Village crocodile, so that's nice to hear the story about how it was really captured. Yeah. I'm intrigued about the early farming days again, though, because a lot of dairying, and you used to, the cream used to go to the Logan Village station, and all go to the Kingston butter factory in those days.
Yep.
Yeah, you used to collect a lot of the cream from a lot of the farmers yourself, didn't you? I mean, you were the cream cart man, so to speak.
Yeah, well, no, I was old enough to. Dad bought that truck in 1949, and I was born in 1938. I was just old enough to get my licence to drive.
Yeah.
The neighbours, there was Mushers and Mollenhagens and Hawkinses and Bobermiens. I'd pick them up on the way to work to the sawmill, and we'd unload the truck so we could use it, sneaking logs in, and 11 o'clock come, go and load the truck up again with a dozen cans and take it to Logan Village and pull the trolley out from under the station house and load the truck up, pull it out to the station where the train stops, and ready to go to Kingston. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that rail motor, we call it.
Yeah, the rail motor. Yep.
Rail motor from the desert had pick up cream on the journey to Logan Village, Jim Boomer and Cedar Grove and them places. But the desert, they had their own.
But all your cream went to the Kingston butter factory in those days. Yeah. Now, I'm also intrigued, Graham, that one of your jobs was to go to the post office at Logan Village and pick up the mail in those early days too, wasn't it? You used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to do that, and Dad would stop back and work the mill while I was gone. I always depended on Graham. I shouldn't be too long.
No, but sometimes you were a long time at the post office.
Oh, yeah, but the post office belonged to Ted Randall and his family, and they retired. Then couple over at Beenleigh decide they go for a look to see this post office, and because they left Beenleigh way, they had a farm there, and when they made the Ivanhoe Dam, guess what? The farm flooded.
Yeah.
They were sick of that, so they went for a drive one Sunday and found this post office for sale at Logan Village and grocery store. So they come and have a look. And the Monday I had to deliver the cream to the station, and I had groceries orders for bread and butter, so I walked over there. Who should be behind this counter was my beautiful wife.
Yeah, you got first prize at Logan Village this day, didn't you? Like, there wasn't a show on, there wasn't a competition on, but you got first prize.
I got first prize.
Yeah.
There was other young fellas there. No, she picked me.
He picked you.
Yeah,
Weren't you lucky?
yeah.
And your dear Glennis has passed on now, but I bet that was a wonderful day.
It was a wonderful day. And today is a passing of her 13th of February.
Oh, is it really? I've got goose pimples, Graham. I didn't realise that today was the actual day of her passing. I got goose pimples and a tear in my eye. There you go.
And I had to deliver that cream 3 days a week. And of course,
And always called into the post office.
the neighbours, people always wanted something from the parcel.
That's it. You made sure of that, didn't you?
And she had a little sister, only 2-year-old, and she'd stand up on the counter. Oh, here, Mr. Bobermien. But Glennis wasn't far away. And
Unfortunately, time is always of the essence, Graham. But you've been in Logan Village all your life. You're retired there now. Still on Stockley Road, and Stockley Road's one of the original roads. Yeah, you've got brothers still in the area, of course.
Yeah, they're scattered a bit, and 1937, of course, Dad had not the sale of farm over there, but he had his own farm up the other side of Canungra and that. And his younger brother wanted to work the farm, and Grandpop asked him, "What do you want to work it or sell it?" "Oh, I want to sell it." And he said, "Right-o." So he rang Dad up or posted a letter to him up Pine Creek there, the other side of Canungra, for him to come home and work the farm half shares. So 1937 he did that, and he had already had 4 boys and 1 girl, and so we had to hand milk the cows there.
Yeah, hand milking days there. Yep, all that. Yep.
Anybody strange come in, "Oh, where's the milk come from?"
Yeah,
Squirting
that's it. Yeah,
squirt them in the face.
Graham, as I said, time is always the essence, and we could talk for ages. I really enjoy it. To finish up, growing up in Logan Village and growing up in that area at that time, I mean, the country dances, all those sorts of things which have all died out these days, that was part of the entertainment and all that around not only Logan Village but in a lot of country areas.
Yeah, well, that is right. Everybody was out learning how to milk a cow and what to grow on the farm for them.
Yeah.
And we had 2 draft horses there. Our grandpop used to operate them. And, of course, they had certain names.
Yep.
Dolly and Dinah. And the neighbour across the river, he stopped me one evening and said, "What do your grandpop call them horses over there?" And we said, "Why?" He said they were double B's today instead of Dolly and Dinah.
Yeah, I can get that bit too. Yeah. Graham, we'll have to wrap it up, unfortunately. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today.
Yeah.
I didn't realise for a moment that today is, I'll call it a special day in your life.
Yeah.
I think you've helped make what we've called these shared stories as far as the National Trust is concerned. You've helped make them special as well. And all as I can do on a really special day, a sad day, but all as I can do is thank you very much and wish you all the very best, Graham. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Good on you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, Graham.
Yeah.